Hello everybody, my name is 711 and welcome to a very special announcement. Uh, I was lucky enough to be in a brand new league for just for fun, but I'm going to have all my battles on YouTube anyway. So a lot of you guys have heard about the Global Battle Association or the United Championship League. I found a bunch of friends on Facebook that want to come together and have, you know, a good time. So, just a recap, we're not a GBA and we're not a UCL. We are United Global Battle Competition. And the reason why I came up with a different name is because we wanted to solidify the rules, and we were using some rules from the GBA and some rules from the UCL, so we came up with something else. And so the draft took over the course of the last 2 days, and so this is a draft analysis video. Uh, I am partially running this whole league, and so I'll be in charge of a lot of things, and I'm going to put I'm going to put some other stuff on the back burner for a while, like um, like the Fire Red Randomizer, Nuzlocke. That may only happen on Mondays and Wednesdays from now on, and I'll still try to do those monotype battles as well. So this is just a draft analysis. So the way that the draft goes is that there are 10 teams, which, by the way, according to the very beginning, I am the proud coach of your Pittsburgh Thunderbolts. So, without further ado, let's go in here. The way that the draft works is that all 10 teams were randomized into an order, and we took turns drafting. And so I happen to be first, and so everyone gets 3 OU picks, 3 UU picks, 3 RU picks, and 3 NU picks. So that means that there are 12 Pokemon total for each team. And if you draft it, then no one else can draft it. So I'm going to start off here. The very first pick, I picked Mega Altaria because Mega Altaria is just a really great Mega overall, and hopefully I can put in a lot of work. As far as moves go, there are just a lot of things that Altaria can do. If I want it to be physical, then I can have it do Return, Earthquake, Double Edge, Facade, Body Slam, whatever the situation may be. If I want to do special, Hyper Voice, Fire Blast, that's basically about it for as far as special goes. But in order for it to be set up more, I can do Cotton Guard, I can do Dragon Dance. So Altaria is just a really great Pokemon overall, and if you were to and also Roost to help preserve it. So if you look at these stats, 110, 110, 110, 105, that is solid, despite its somewhat dismal HP. And its speed is okay. With one Dragon Dance, then its speed will be at 120 speed, and it can outspeed just about everything. So that's really important. And then its attack is going to be really high, and I'll be able to dish out a lot of damage and maybe even sweep. So that's why I picked Mega Altaria. For the second, and then the way the draft works is I pick Mega Altaria, and then the other 9 people pick going down, and then we snake going back up. So there were like 18 picks before I could finally pick again. And for the second pick, I got Serperior. And so Serperior is an absolutely incredible Pokemon, especially with this contrary ability. So that means I can do stuff like Leaf Storm shenanigans, as you guys know. There's an item to boost accuracy. I don't remember what it is, but I could probably do that. Or a Lumberry, in case somebody wants to Thunder Wave or Toxic Serperior, then that can be really useful. So Leaf Storm. Other moves I could use are Dragon Pulse, Glare, Taunt, Mirror Coat, or I plan on picking a Hidden Power, for one of the move slots every week, whether it be Hidden Power Fire, Ice, or Rock, or Ground. Those are probably the ones that I would rock out with. Maybe even Hidden Power Water, for, whatever reason. So that's basically Serperior. If you look at the stats for Serperior, its special attack really isn't all that great, but with one Leaf Storm, where's Leaf Storm? With one Leaf Storm, special attack goes up by 2 instead of down by 2 because of contrary. So that means that special attack will be at 150. And so, like, these Giga Drains are going to be really helpful. Maybe I think that if the opponent is at relatively low health, then I can bring in Serperior and get a free +2. And then someone has to send in another Pokemon up against a really strong Serperior already. So, and then another great thing is that Serperior's speed at 113 is really great. Really great. It's the next to fastest Pokemon, I believe, that I've drafted. So, make sure, guys, to look out for Serperior. I'm sure that he'll be showing up lots of times. Third, I picked Mew. Mew just has so many options. It's ridiculous. I'm going to get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Give you a hardy neutral nature. If you look at these stats, guys, base 100. That means that I can make I can make Mew into anything I want. I can make Mew a physically bulky Pokemon with 252 HP and 252 defense. Or I can make it a special wall with 252 defense and rocking an Assault Vest. I could make it an offensive sweeper with, like, a timid nature and then plus special attack and plus speed with a choice scarf or a choice specs. Mew has an incredible move pool. He gets access to a lot of moves by level up, as well as every TM and any other move tutor move in the game. Excuse me. And Synchronize. If you try to Toxic me, then I'll Toxic you back, unless you're a Poison or Steel type. So, as you see, guys, Mew has an incredible moveset. He can know Acrobatics, Aura Sphere, Avalanche. I can Baton Pass, stats. What else? I can go for Calm Minds. I can go for Dazzling Gleams and Dark Pulse. I want to use Aura Sphere at least once during this whole league. I can use Defog and get rid of hazards. That's going to be extremely helpful. I can Dragon Tail and phase things out. I can go for Earth Power or Earthquake. So if I want to do special or physical, I have lots of options. Energy Ball. If you look at special types, by the way, Knockoff, Iron Head, Ice Punch, some of the most, okay, the three most important moves in the entire game, as far as competitive battling goes. Knockoff is 1. Scald is 2. Do you get Scald? It's a TM. There it is. Also Stealth Rock. Do you get Stealth Rock? Stealth Rock is a move tutor move. There it is. So Mew gets the 3 best moves in the game. I could make Mew a negative nature, like Quiet, and then 0 IVs to make Mew really slow, and then I can have a slow Volt Switcher. So, look, it even gets Nasty Plot. It even gets Swords Dance. It gets Synthesis. It gets all kinds of things. So, I'm going to have Mew do whatever I need. I plan on bringing Mew a lot of times, and whatever I need Mew to be, it can be just what I need. So Mew was a huge pickup, and that wraps up the OU draft. Moving right along, I have the first UU pick was Nidoking. If you guys know me, excuse me, if you guys know me, I love Nidoking so much, especially with Sheer Force. What Sheer Force does, for those of you that don't know, this Pokemon's attack with a secondary effect will boost its power but nullify the effect. So what that means is that means that Ice Beams will be about as strong as Blizzards, but it can never freeze. Flamethrowers will be as strong as Fire Blast, but it can never burn. Thunderbolts will be about as strong as Thunders, but can never paralyze. So Poison Jabs will be about as strong as a Gunk Shot, but it will never poison. So Sheer Force is really great, and an interesting thing with Life Orb and Sheer Force, as a lot of you guys probably already know, I can boost their power again with Life Orb. Life Orb is another 1.3 times. But with Sheer Force, I don't actually lose 1/10 of my health. So that is extremely useful. So, Nidoking has an incredible move pool. If I want to have a special Nidoking, I can do Sludge Wave, I can do Earth Power, I can do Thunderbolt, I can do Ice Beam, I can do Flamethrower, I can even do Shadow Ball, for crying out loud. This is such an incredible move pool. I don't know how I got lucky enough to draft a Nidoking. And if I want Nidoking to be physical, it gets access to Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Poison Jab, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, all these incredible moves. In fact, the only bad thing is that its speed really isn't all that great. So I can do that, and let's say if I give it a timid speed, it's not even 300. So, yes, Nidoking can outspeed a lot of things, but the only other way to really counteract that is if I give it a Choice Scarf. And that means that with a Choice Scarf, its speed will be at 1.5. That's like 127, 128. So with a Choice Scarf, I'll be outspeeding pretty much everything. I won't outspeed Jolteon, I won't outspeed Aerodactyl or Mega Aerodactyl, and I don't think I'll outspeed a Mega Manectric or a Mega Beedrill. So those are things to definitely look out for, and I'll be sure to prepare for them. But with a Choice Scarf, that means I can't switch out my moves. So I'll probably bring the Life Orb variant. So Nidoking can just wreck shop once Nidoking finds an opening. So next pick, I picked a Donphan. I love Donphan. I love Donphan a lot. Donphan gets Stealth Rock. Now I have 2 Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rock. Donphan gets access to Rapid Spin. I think he's the only Rapid Spinner. I'm sorry, Donphan's the second Rapid Spinner on my team. I have another Pokemon that can Earthquake. I now have 2 Pokemon, Mew and Donphan, that can do Knockoff. So, and now I have priority in Ice Shard. Play Rough, Poison Jab, Gunk Shot, Seed Bomb. Who runs Seed Bomb Donphan? Well, I'm sure I'll find an opportunity to use Seed Bomb on Donphan. Sturdy is going to be nice. So, Donphan is a really great Pokemon by move pool. If you look at its stats, 120 attack is crazy. And then 120 defense with 90 HP, that's decent. That's some pretty good bulk. Not very good special defense, but I can do something like Assault Vest. And then Assault Vest will give it 90 defense. So that's something to think about. I could give it a, I can't talk today, sorry guys. Give it a Rocky Helmet, which is going to be really great with a Pokemon that can just tank physical hits, and that can force a switch. So that can be really problematic for my opponent. I could give it a Choice Band and like destroy lives with 180 attack. So Donphan is great. Donphan is really great. The biggest problem again is its speed. And even with a Choice Scarf, it's up to 75 speed, and that's just not gonna cut it. So Donphan's speed is just something I'm gonna have to play around, and I guess that's going to make just make Donphan's Ice Shard come into play a lot more often. So that pretty much wraps up Donphan. Next, I actually drafted a Hydreigon, but shortly after that, I noticed something pretty bad. Altaria is weak to Ice. Serperior is weak to Ice. Nidoking is weak to Ice. Donphan is weak to Ice. And then I drafted Hydreigon. 5 out of the first 6 Pokemon that I drafted would be weak to Ice. So I actually made a swap with somebody, and I picked up Empoleon. So Empoleon is a pretty good Pokemon. Empoleon gets access to Scald, which is one of the best moves in the game. He gets access to Stealth Rock, which is one of the best moves in the game. He gets access to Defog, which is one of the best moves in the game. He gets access to Knockoff, which is one of the best moves in the game. He gets access to Flash Cannon Stab. He gets access to Aqua Jet Stab, Earthquake, Ice Beam, Toxic, Roar. So this Empoleon is pretty great. Now, its special defense is like really key here, with the Calm Nature most likely. If you look, Donphan is a great defensive wall. Now I have a decent special defensive wall, and I have Mew, which can be like any wall that I want. And then with Mega Altaria, if I wanted to do Cotton Guard, let me bring up Cotton Guard here. Raises the user's defense by 3 stages. So that's more than double. That's 2.5 times 110. So that's 220 plus 55. That's going to be like 275 defense. That is insane, guys. That's absolutely insane. So I can make Mega Altaria defensive wall if I wanted to. But now I have a decent special defensive wall in Empoleon. And so Empoleon can be a decent stealth rocker. Empoleon can be a decent roar user to just rack up damage, and then Serperior or Nidoking or Mew can come in and sweep. So Empoleon, in my opinion, was a really great pickup, and especially because it helps mitigate this huge, huge ice weakness that I just accumulated. So those were my 3 OU picks and my 3 UU picks. So, whoops. So now let's jump into my RU draft. First one I picked up was a Jellicent. Now, why Jellicent? Well, first of all, I can go like this, I guess. I picked up Jellicent. Why? Because there's a Nidoking weak to water, there's a Donphan weak to water, and I planned on just having another thing weak to water. And guess what? It gets Water Absorb. Water Absorb is just a really great move. I'm sorry, it's a really great ability for Jellicent. And also, Jellicent's typing is great. Water and Ghost. Now I have a Spin Blocker. That's something that I was really missing here. And so, Ghosts are just great for a team anyway. So, Jellicent has some really great HP, really great special defense. This could be another special wall. So, I have a lot of wally I have like a slow offense for the most part, except for like Mew and Serperior at this point. So, what can Jellicent bring? Jellicent can... he doesn't really have a really great special attack, to be honest. So, the best things that Jellicent can probably do for us is Toxic and or Will-O-Wisp. But if I do want Jellicent to be more offensive, then there is Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, Hex, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Surf, Scald. So those are some pretty good ideas right there. I forgot to mention, you get access to Recover. A wall that can recover is like really important. So Mega Altaria can be a wall and have Roost. Mew can be a wall, and Mew can get Roost, Soft Boiled, or even Synthesis. And I don't think that Empoleon can get Roost. Let me check here. No, you can't learn Roost. So that's a slight bummer. So let me go back to RU. So that makes Jellicent really, really viable overall. So next I pick Scrafty. Now what can Scrafty do? Scrafty can get Knockoff, and Drain Punch, and Dragon Dance. Scrafty can get the elemental punches, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. It can get Iron Head. Or if, let's see, no one picked Aggron or Steelix. But if a really heavy Pokemon comes, then I can do Low Kick. I can just do some Dragon Dances and then click Outrage. I could do Poison Jab. Scrafty Scrafty is a really great Pokemon overall. Its HP really isn't all that great, but if I go like this and like this and give it an Assault Vest with Moxie, then all of a sudden Scrafty is a really strong Pokemon. Let me give it a Jolly Nature. There we go. Actually, with Moxie Dragon Dance is the most common, so I have to take the Assault Vest off. I probably give it, I don't know, Leftovers. No, Lumberry. If I give it a Lumberry, Moxie, and Dragon Dance, then that can mean more speed, more attack. I have great defenses already. Scrafty can be devastating to teams. In all honesty, Scrafty is like really great. Now, I noticed, yes, that Scrafty has a weakness to fighting its own stab, and Scrafty has a devastating weakness toward Fairy. But there are things called berries, and so I don't remember what berry it is that can do it. A Colbur berry has damage taken by super effective dark type moves. So if I were to give a Colbur berry to Jellicent, for example, Colbur berry. So a Pokemon goes for a knockoff, but Jellicent eats the Colbur berry. So knockoff does 65 damage, I believe. Let me do knockoff. Yeah, knockoff is 65 damage, and then halved. Why do you have just a regular berry? Whatever. Colbur berry. Colbur berry is essentially going to make knockoff do nothing, and that can be really useful toward a Pokemon that is like setting up and sweeping against me, and then I can use a berry just to make that move hurt a lot less, and then I can hopefully revenge kill something. So that's just something that I'll try to do sometime. So here's a Scrafty. I think what I'll do for the most part is Dragon Dance, Knockoff, which is Stab, by the way, Drain Punch, and then the last move will be Up in the Air. It will be just whatever needs to be there. If the other person has a big ice weakness, then I can do Ice Punch. If the opponent has like an electric weakness, then I can do Thunder Punch. It's just going to be whatever I want. Like I said before, Poison Jab, Outrage, Iron Head, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. Those are going to be my main options. Or, if there's like a really, really bulky Pokemon, then I can run Super Fang and immediately cut its health in half. So, that's going to be really great for Scrafty. And my final RU pick, I don't know how I got so lucky, guys. I was so low in the orders of drafting, but I was able to snag Ambipom. Ambipom is amazing with Technician. It's got Fake Out, Aerial Ace. Just for a few moves, Power Up Punch. Those are most of the moves that Technician and Ambipom can really take advantage of. But Return, it has the elemental punches: Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch. It gets Foul Play, it gets Gunk Shot, it gets Knockoff, it gets Low Kick, it gets Taunt, it gets U-Turn. And a really cool thing is you get access to Baton Pass and Agility. So imagine if I Baton Pass and Agility over to Nidoking. That would be horrible for the other person. Absolutely horrible. And you also get access to Nasty Plot. Imagine if I do Nasty Plot, Baton Pass to a Choice Scarf Nidoking. Guys, I love Nidoking, as you can tell. Excuse me. And you know what? If a Pokemon is like really giving me problems, then I can do Switcheroo. Switcheroo is a great move also. I can just really upset and cripple Pokemon. Cripple is probably the best word that I can think of. So Ambipom is like incredible, just absolutely incredible for that standpoint. So that's my RU draft: Jellicent, Scrafty, and Ambipom. So next, moving right along, I have Dusclops. Dusclops doesn't have a whole lot of options, but if I slap on an Eviolite, boost its defenses, 359, 359, that is damage. That is absolutely disgusting. Sure, it's weak to knockoff, but Dusclops Dusclops is mostly going to be a crippler. It can do Will-O-Wisp. It can do Pain Split. Well, he can do Trick. He can do what else? Toxic. He can do it can do Destiny Bond. So all of those moves are just really crazy. Now, one move I didn't see in here. Where are you? It must be down here. Skill Swap. Skill Swap is like really important. I mean, imagine Scrafty without Moxie, or Intimidate, or Shed Skin. Imagine a Jellicent without Water Absorb. Imagine an Altaria without Pixelate. Imagine a Serperior without Contrary. Imagine a Nidoking without Sheer Force. You see what I'm trying to say, guys? Now, this Dusclops, if I go for Skill Swap, it will force some switches. That is for sure. So that's really what I have for Dusclops, really. He's not going to be sweeping. He's not going to be a huge threat as far as that is concerned. So next is Kabutops. Sorry. So there's Kabutops. It's going to be pretty good. Especially, now, I have Jellicent and I have Jellicent and Empoleon that could potentially set up the rain. And then Swift Swim to make speed doubled to 160. That could be pretty interesting. I'm a little more interested in weak armor. If someone wants to revenge kill with a quick attack or an Aqua Jet or something like that, then Kabutops can just switch in, and with a choice band or maybe life orb, Kabutops can be a real threat. I mean, with 115 base attack, that is damage right there. So Kabutops gets Aqua Jet. He gets Brick Break. He gets Knockoff. He's my other Rapid Spinner along with Donphan. He gets Stone Edge and Rock Slide and Waterfall. So Kabutops gets a lot of stab. He doesn't get a whole lot other than stab, though. He does get Knockoff. But Kabutops can be a really scary offensive sweeper if I set up the rain, or if I don't set up the rain, weak armor and destroy lives. And for the last pick, I picked Magmortar. Magmortar, I love Magmortar, guys. You know, my mascot is Magmar. I did not draft Magmar. I drafted Magmortar. I like Magmar better overall, but just for the power, I chose Magmortar. So, what can Magmortar bring to the table? He can bring something called Clear Smog, which is perfect accuracy and eliminates stat changes. It can bring Fire Blast, Flamethrower, and Lava Plume for fiery offense. It can bring Psychic or Thunderbolt. or a hidden power grass, or any hidden power, ice, ground, rock, you name it, steel. That's what Magmortar can do if it's specially offensive. But here's something interesting, guys. He gets access to something called Belly Drum. If I'm able to set up a Belly Drum with Magmortar, then I can destroy lives. I can literally destroy lives. With how, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's something called Mach Punch, along with Belly Drum. There's something called the Elemental Punches, Fire Punch and Thunder Punch. There's something called Earthquake. There's something called Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz, guys. Like, nobody sees this coming. That's 120 base power with a maximized +6 attack. So, I hope to bring Magmortar at least once. I could do Choice Specs, I could do Choice Scarf, I could do Focus Sash, I could do Lumberry, Life Orb, you name it. So that is my draft. So I'm interested in seeing what you guys think overall. Let me go back here. So here are my 3 OU picks: Mega Altaria, Serperior, and Mew. My UU picks are Nidoking, Donphan, and Empoleon. My RU picks are Jellicent and Scrafty and Ambipom. And my NU picks are Dusclops, Kabutops, and Magmortar. So this is a counter team sort of style. Each week I'll be battling somebody else, and they have their own 12 Pokemon, and everyone drafted extremely well, guys. This is going to be really hyper intense. Hopefully we can come out with some wins. So that's enough for now, guys, and let me know in the comments section what you guys think about my draft overall, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.